Hi guys, I'm going to tie something, a bit of a departure for myself, but this sort of a North American pattern. This will be a rusty rat, or a variation of a rusty rat. So I have here a single, this is an Alec Jackson size 5, and we're going to use a fire orange thread. So start that off the eye. Now we're going to run that down the shank, and I'm stopping off a little bit forward of our hook point there. So generally I think these flies suit a shortish style, but I'm going to try for something a little bit intermediate. So for our tag, I'm going to use a fine silver oval. I'll tie that in on my side and then continue the thread down. Now I'm going to watch what way my thread wants to spin, and I'm going to flatten out the thread by spinning it, because I want to wrap backwards with a flattened out thread to give me a nice level base for tying in this tag. So I'm coming in here somewhere about level with my barb. When I get there, I'm just going to go forward again. And then we wrap a few turns of our fine silver tinsel as tag. Number of turns is up to yourself, but once I've tied as many as I want, I'll take off a few turns. Because you don't have to leave on every turn you put on. So, tail on this one, peacock sword. So I'm going to pick a peacock sword here, which has fairly straightish bits towards the point. I'm going to take off half a dozen or so of these fibres, a little bunch, and that's going to be our tail. So in this style of fly, sometimes this can be quite short, so I'm going to take it to the just beyond the bend of our hook. And then I'm going to wrap all this forward, because we make the back section of this fly is a floss section, so I want to keep that fairly level. Take off the curly bits of those. And continue to wrap that forward. So I can also use this tinsel as the tinsel rib for the fly. So the front section of the body is peacock herl, and that'll cover up. It doesn't have to be as level underneath it. So once we get to the point a little bit further forward than what we want the back section to be, I'm going to double this back on itself, hold it underneath, and tie it in right up to our tail. So, as I said, the back section of this fly is going to be a floss, some sort of an orange floss. I'm going to use here a uni floss, and this one's a pumpkin. So I'm going to cut off a section of that. I'm going to tie it in on the top. forward. Nice even touching turns, trying to keep that floss on the top. You might wonder why I'm leaving such a long tag. It's because this is actually going to form part of the wing, so it's a little bit awkward, but bear with us. Okay, so we've just dropped off that step there at the front. So now the tail has decided to disintegrate itself. I'm just going to unravel the silk or floss. And wrap forward. Okay. Now I'm going to tie that off with a couple of turns. And again, cut this bit off long, and this extra bit here, what I can do with that if I feel like it, is to add that in there as well. A couple of turns back. Wrap this forward. Now, I want to smooth out my floss body, so I'm going to take a burnishing tool here. This is an agate dog tooth shaped burnisher. I think it's for gold leaf and stuff like that there, but if you rub a floss body with it, or a silk body, it'll smooth it out for you. So next I'm going to take these bunch of floss strands here and tie them back until the point where this body section ends, and then I'm going to cut that off, not full length of the tail, sort of halfway down it. And then I want to separate out that floss with a brush. And the front section of the fly is going to be peacock herl. So there's a few ways you can do this. You can tie in your peacock herl and just wrap it. And if you're going to do that, what you want to do is wrap it in the opposite direction from which the way that your tinsel is going to go. Or you can do what I'm about to do now, which is I'm going to trim the tips off it. Tie this in back to the section there, and then I'm actually going to twist this as if I was dubbing, well, some sort of fur dubbing on, but the peacock herl then wraps around my thread core, and I think that makes it a little bit more durable. It doesn't actually lay just as ordered as it does if you'd wrap the stalks themselves, but so unravel them just at the end and tie that in. So that is the body part of the fly complete. So when I need to rib that, so this is obviously going to be in the road, so what we want to do is pull that forward and put on a couple of wraps to hold it in place while we do that. And then I'm going to take my silver tinsel and wrap along until I get to my midsection, then release this. Wrap the whole way to the front and tie it off. So next we need to put on a wing. So you could use squirrel, you could use here's one I tied earlier, which I tied with a possum as the wing, and on this one what I'm going to tie it with is a silver fox mask. I'm going to look for a bunch out of that. Cut out my bunch, and then I'm going to get rid of this underfur stuff. So that'll be our wing. Now I'm not really one for squared tamped wings, but if that's what you want to do at this stage, this is when to do it. So you put it into a hair stacker, and tamp the wings tips down a level. So there's a variety of ways of tying this in now. So what you can do is just tie it on, cut the ends, or what I'm going to do is to measure it for length. As I said, most of these wings are quite short, so I'm going to measure roughly the length of the hook bend, transfer it into this hand, and then trim off the wing butt. And then I am going to take a little bit of super glue. I'm going to put it on the end of one of these cocktail sticks, touch the very end of that, and before it dries I'm going to tie that in. Flatten it down a bit. So, to finish this fillet off, needs a grizzle hackle. So what I have here is a Metz Magnum grizzle. This is one of the feathers from towards the back of it, where it adopts a little bit of sort of henny structure into the cock. And I'm just going to double that hackle. Now, as I said, I have a tutorial in my playlists of how to double a hackle if you want to look at that in more detail. But I double the hackle, tie it in by its tip, fold that back, and then that allows me to make a nice neat, hopefully, head hackle. Now I'm squeezing it and stroking these back as I put them on. So number of turns is up to yourself. Some people will prefer a heavier dressed fillet, but I think sort of 4 turns or so for the size of this fillet, possibly 5, depends on whether you're going to fish it or stick it in a frame, I suppose. And then we'll take our thread through the hackle, fold the hackle back on itself and tie over that, and that will secure it in place. You can snap that off if you feel like, or cut it. And that is our fillet done, barring a head. So personally I like to wrap the heads with a little bit of super glue on the thread, just for my final shaping. And then your whip finish or hand finish, whatever you want to do. Trim that off. So, barring a bit of varnish, that is our rusty rat finished. So I'll do a coat of clear varnish on that. it'll get another one after that dries. But that's our rusty rat, I suppose, variant finished. And if you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button, and we shall see you next time. But tight lines.